Jill Kreminga. I work with the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. First we were all really excited and very pleased. It's great to get that kind of community recognition from a well-respected group like the 100 Men's group. And it was great. It's just such a gift to get such a large donation like that helps kind of ease the stress really of worrying about like how the budget's going to go. As we work with volunteers is that they're kind of to make the match between an adult volunteer and a kid happen does take a lot of professional, especially trained staff to do that. And so it goes into kind of supporting all that so we can get more kids matched with adult volunteers. It takes about $1,200 to support a match, so that'd be an adult volunteer and a kid for a year. So if you can figure for every $1,200, you're either maintaining a match or building a new match. Yeah. Well, first, thank you very, very much for kind of voting us, and also I'd urge all of you to consider becoming a Big Brother.
Leora Houghton, Courage Ride Director. Part of what we've tried to do over 15 years, because this is our 15 years, so is to become known and respected in the community so people understand what we're about and what we do. So by being connected in a sense with the 100 Plus Men, we're able to get the word out to the community in many more places and to become and to give so much more to the University of Iowa Hospital Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. And for the Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center, Sarcoma Research Group, we provide 85% of the funds for their seed grants. So this impacts our organization greatly and able to do that as well. Yes, because as you say, this is our second time, and so the more we're exposed, the more we know people in the community, the more they know us. Yes, we've seen more community involvement. We have lots of volunteers, and people say, oh, Courage Ride, great, I'll come. So definitely, yes. Thank you very, very much. When I spoke last year at a researchers group for Courage Ride, Dr. Banda introduced me and said, we count on them bringing us 85% of our seed grant funding. So to be able to provide them with the funds that they need to save lives is fabulous. And we appreciate the 100 Plus Men's role in that for us to be able to do our job.
I'm Kayla Room. I'm the Executive Director of the North Liberty Community Pantry. Well, I thought it was amazing because that is a large chunk of money that you usually have to work really hard to gain. So whether we write grants to get that amount of money or we do a big fundraising event, it's really cool to be nominated to receive that amount of money without having to put in the hours and hours of work besides just letting the organization sort of speak for itself and the great work that we do. So with the money that we got from the 100 Plus Men group, we were able to purchase a cargo van, which is something that the organization has needed for a long time. It allowed us to use the van to move food, to pick up food at least weekly, if not sometimes 3 times a week. It was the ability to pick up our own food and not have to rely on a delivery company or different groups of volunteers and their vehicles. It's made a huge impact. With that, we were able to create other partnerships. So we use the van to partner with HACAP, and we go up there once a week to pick up food. But we also were now able to partner with local farmers, and we actually drive the van out to the farms, pick up whatever they glean out of their fields, and bring that back to the pantry, where before we would have to do a lot more logistics coordinating all of that. Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're driving around with your logo on the side of a van. A lot of people in this community, didn't even know that we exist. So whether you're someone who needs food or someone who wants to volunteer or donate things, driving that van around is like it's like paying for advertisements. So we've definitely had a huge increase in volunteers. We've been serving a lot more families in the last 3 years since we purchased the van. So our buying power as a food pantry is pretty powerful in that we can get food for a really low cost. So every dollar that gets donated to the pantry, we can buy 4 pounds of food. So as you can imagine, every $100 that gets donated, we can buy 400 pounds of food. When we get large sums of money, like $10,000 or around that, it really allows us to know that we can keep our lights on, we can keep the refrigerators running, we can keep air conditioning going and keep food at a safe temperature for a sustainable amount of time. It helps pay for staff who organize and coordinate all the purchasing of food and picking up of food. It keeps gas in the van and keeps maintenance costs low and things like that. So every dollar that we get has a huge impact on our organization because we're not big. So whenever we get gifts of $10,000, it makes a big difference in our bottom line. Yes, I just thank them so much for choosing us, for even creating a program where you're able to give back, because every agency that they give to in our community actually impacts us as well. It's another resource that we're able to give families in need, and we just are so appreciative that the program exists and that the concept is really cool. It's a great way to get the word out there and get people involved in things that maybe they would have never considered donating to the pantry or volunteering at the pantry or being board members at our pantry, and we really appreciate that support.